excited to introduce you to this gem of a human here, Courtney Organ from Courtney Lauren Skincare. So excited. We're in her beautiful little salon here, and we want to hear all about it. So how long have you been here in this space?
So I've been in this space for about 2 years.
Okay.
I've owned my own business for 5. I started in Sola Salons just across the street in a smaller suite. So yeah, I've been over here a couple years, and I just like the privacy over here, and it's just very I'd say exclusive, private.
Right.
And yeah, we like it over here.
Yeah. So 5 years, but you've been in this business for 17.
Yes.
So you have a ton of experience.
Yes, I've worked in a lot of different settings and, tried a lot of different ways and learned a lot. Worked on cruise ships for a few years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was able to travel, learned a lot about different skin types.
Oh.
And then I'm from Chicago originally, so I worked in a spa downtown Chicago and worked in a couple hotels and worked for a doctor before I started my own business.
Okay, so you have a wealth of knowledge and things to offer. What are some of the things that people can find here?
Yeah, we just really like to keep it. You know what I felt like before I started this business is that I just felt like there were kind of a lot of sterile options on the market. Nothing was really super customized, and I felt like it was just I was wanting to do so many different things, so it was fun for me to open this so that I could offer many different things. So I would say that everything that we do here is very customized.
Okay.
And we offer so many different types of things for different skin types because it's every skin is so different.
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure we had basically everything in our arsenal in order to achieve results with every skin. So we do so many different things.
Right. So when you say customize, tell me a little bit about that because I'm a novice. I don't know. I think you just go in and lay down and they make you beautiful. So what does that mean to customize something like that?
Where we really take a look at the skin and almost diagnose the skin and see okay, this is what you need. You need a plan, people come to us because they have concerns. So if you're just going in for a facial, that's amazing because it's always just great for your skin. It's preventative,
Sure.
But I think when people are coming here, they're looking for more a corrective treatment.
Okay.
So that's where I would say we customize it.
Okay.
So that would be more if we're treating pigmentation, melasma, acne, that's more of a customized type of treatment because every acne is different. We see so many different ethnicities, so the skin types are different. So yeah, that's what I mean by custom is that we just want to correct that skin, and that skin might need something different than someone else. So but if we also love the relaxing facials and the brightening and all that, for anyone. So it's not always corrective, but So
for acne, somebody who's had that for a long time, they come to you, and are you able to help them just sort of get rid of that?
Definitely.
Okay. Of all ages? Is that something
all ages.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Because I know it can be pretty debilitating.
It can be. It's so hard, especially for the younger generation. They're just struggling. It's frustrating. They try everything, and then so we like to see them here every 2 weeks for our acne clear program.
Okay.
And then we give them, products that they use at home, and we adjust it. And it's a really affordable program for younger people.
Awesome.
But then we see it a lot in adults too. So we're seeing a lot of that. And then scarring as well. So we like to work on that after the acne program too.
Right, because I think maybe sometimes adults are I've had this my whole life.
Yes.
And this is just my face.
Yes.
And this is just my skin, and
Totally.
So there are solutions around that.
Definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize that was such a thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And melasma?
Melasma?
Melasma. Explain what that is to me.
Melasma is really common. It's a hormonal pigmentation. It's typically patches on the cheeks, above the eyebrow, above the lip area. It's different than just pigmentation spots from the sun. It's hormonally stimulated.
I was literally just having this conversation with my best friend about this because she was pointing it out and she had mentioned that word. So there's a solution for that.
There is. Melasma is a little bit more chronic, I would say, because it is driven by hormones. So I always like to say, work on that, outside of here as well, to figure out what's going on that's causing that. A lot of times it's birth control too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, or they call it pregnancy mass because it happens during pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
So it's driven by hormonal factors. However, we can treat this condition and keep it under control.
Okay.
And a lot of people do say that it's faded and it hasn't come back. It can come back though, and that's something that that's why you have to be on good products. You have to be seeing us regularly.
Sure.
You know,
like maintaining.
Maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, it can be treated for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you are in the biz for 17 years.
Yes.
How did you get started?
Yeah, I just I had 2 really young kids when I was working like a full-time job at a doctor's office, and I was learning so much, but I just was feeling like I needed more flexibility. So I feel like that was like my biggest moment of like, I need to do something for myself. Like, I feel like I could do this part-time, and I just kind of came up with a plan. I actually started seeing some clients in my guest room. Just some friends and family, and just like, oh, I could just try this and that, and I just built it up,
right.
And
that's
then
a
I
long
opened
time.
my own space, and I still had young kids, so I was just wanting to work a few days, and then it ended up being a lot more than I was ever working.
Well,
so I'm working all the time now, which is fine, but I love it, and it is still flexible, and that was really my ultimate goal, is just to have not miss anything and be there for them.
Right.
And
so how did you choose for this to be that career? You could have chosen other jobs. Like, how did you decide that?
In the beginning,
in the beginning,
going to school and things like that.
Yeah.
So my mom was a hairdresser. I grew up in the salon, in a suburb of Chicago. So I feel like I just always saw her making people feel good. She was really good at that. And I think I had my first facial too when I was 16. So I was like, that was the best thing I think I ever had. So I was like, I should get into this. I'd love to I don't know, I always like to play with different things. So that was mainly, I went to school right out of high school. So I graduated in 2008 from aesthetic school.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's 17 years.
Yeah. And it's funny because you said, I wanted to do this because it's more flexible, but you find yourself working so much more, especially as a business owner and a mom. So how do you kind of
it just
make that work?
Blew up.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for.
Yeah.
I think everyone has been looking for this customization corrective skincare in the desert.
Oh,
yeah. It was a problem I feel like that needed to be solved almost.
Right.
Because people are like, I'm going here, I'm going to the dermatologist, I'm going to for a lighter facial, but it's just not getting me what I need. So but I also like the relaxing piece of it and the holistic side of it.
Yeah.
So it's how can I bring both worlds together where it's clinical but also relaxing.
Right.
So I think ultimately, to answer your question, I knew I had to do it, and and you love it. I love it. And I love it. So and I love what I do still.
Yeah. Well, I think that's such so growing up, my mom did not do things like that. It was you put a little sunscreen on and, but now in her 70s, she started to get facials and started to kind of take care of her skin and everything. Yeah. But I know there's a lot of things that she could have prevented by, maybe taking care of it early on, right?
Definitely.
Right? And so preventative is amazing, but for folks that have some sort of issue, and it's your face.
Yes.
It is
your
the
largest
first
organ, right?
Yeah.
Your skin. You have to take good care of it.
Yeah. So what are some really tips that you're this is what you should be doing every day to take care of?
Yeah. It really depends on the age, I would say, but I feel like the key would be to constantly wanting to renew your cells, right? So also protection of the skin. So vitamin C, sunscreen, I like the good physical sunscreen with zinc and titanium. There's a lot of chemical sunscreens out there that I try to avoid. But yeah, definitely vitamin C, renewing the skin, which would be retinol, or using more, skin renewing acids, things like that. That's what just keeps your skin smooth and works on the texture.
Okay.
The more you're renewing that cycle, the more youthful your skin is. So if we're talking about aging, that's kind of more what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what if somebody has something that maybe some sort of discolorment or some acne or something they've had for so long, and they want to come and see you? How does that first initial meeting go?
Yeah, so everyone that's a new client books our new client consult and service option because like I was saying, everyone's skin is different. So for someone to say oh, my best friend had this facial, I want to do this. It cleared up her skin. That might not necessarily be for them. So we like to do the new client consult and service option. That way we can like look at their skin, do an analysis, and just say, okay, this is how many treatments you need. Typically what we do with like, you know, pigmentation, acne, we focus a lot on like those acids. So we do peels. We do a lot of chemical peels. So chemical peels, I'd say, is like the number one thing that we see great results with. Okay. And we have a few different options here. So that would be great for some with pigmentation. We see them, they fill out a form before they come see us. That way we know everything everyone is using. And then we do a whole little talk in here. And then we say like, this is going to be like a 3 to 6 month type of plan. You know, it's nice to have a plan. I feel like a lot of people go into facials, treatments, and they get one time and then they don't really know what to do next. And I feel like we really help to guide them and coach them on what's best long-term, like longevity.
Amazing. That's so true. Because like, why spend the money for just one and done? Yeah, right?
Exactly. It's just not going to work. It's not going to be long-term results, you know? Yeah. So one facial is amazing though. You need to come and get one to experience it. But you definitely, you know, if you're wanting to protect your skin, treat your skin, and prevent damage, then you need to be coming every 4 to 6 weeks. I would recommend.
I prefer a really good facial over a massage 1,000 times. I find it so much more relaxing than, so I'm with you like all day. Yeah. I know you're a boy mom. Yes. Right? Yes. Do you teach your boys about skincare? Is that something that they're interested in at all?
I've done like little mini facials on them. It's just so cute and they love it. They're like, oh, that feels good. That feels good. Oh, that's warm. It's so cute. And they're like my 11-year-old, soon to be 11-year-old. He's starting to get like, his pores are like forming and he's getting like little clogged pores. So we'll always talk about it. Yeah. Can you bring me home that stuff again? So I'm working on it, but it's hard with boys, you know. They're
100%.
Just in and out of the shower.
They're like barely washing their hair. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and I saw on Instagram the other day you had a young girl. Yes. And you guys were going into Sephora, and it stood out so much to me what you were doing. It was like, healthy preteen skincare. Yes. And I want to talk about that. Yes. What are some things you suggest for somebody who's young and obviously they're not buying the product, so it's not right? Like what would be some things they could do?
Honestly, with the teen skincare right now, it's even the preteen skin. It's like 10-year-olds right now that it's like they're lining up in Sephora and just buying all this stuff. So, I mean, I've had so many moms as my clients be like, what do we do? Like, it's so much, and it's expensive, right? To be buying all that. So it's really not necessary. I mean, there's a couple things that are fun and cute that are fine and safe. What I would say the best thing to use is just like a basic cleanser, maybe a toner, calming toner. I would say like a cream and a sunscreen. So just keeping it really gentle. And we have like acne safe products here because that is an issue with younger kids and teens. It's called Face Reality. Oh, but that's a good one. I would say for teens and preteens, I would avoid, like retinol, salicylic acid, alpha hydroxy acid, vitamin C, basically all the things I listed you should be using in your 40s and 50s, not when you're 10. So it's become like an issue out there.
Well, sure, because like you just said, so, a young girl gets some money for her birthday. Yeah. And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to go spend it at Sephora or Ulta or Target even. And then they go buy products that maybe aren't the best choice for them. And they're spending in all the things. Like, I think it's a super great conversation to have.
Yeah, definitely. And we want to have more of it because I feel like there just needs to be more education around it. Sure. And there are things that they can buy from those places. It's unrealistic for me to be like, you can never shop here, right? I mean, 100%. So I just think, they just need to be a little bit more cautious and maybe just some more guidance at the store even just about what to use and why you shouldn't use
and
that.
what it'll help you for the long run. Yes. My mom grew up like going to the beach in the Jersey Shore, like baby oil. So we always grew up with put sunscreen on. Yes. You know what I mean? That was a big deal in our house. But I think like now with everybody wanting to be so pretty all the time and they're like looking at somebody else who is able to spend a lot of money to do that. Yes. And all of the augmentations, like God bless everybody who's doing it, whatever. But like a 10 and 12-year-old should not be having that conversation. Even a 16-year-old. It's like, hey, let's take what we've got.
Yes.
And make it be amazing for now.
Definitely. Yeah, there's so much out there on social media and TikTok and all these platforms, and it's a disservice in so many ways, So I think just avoiding having any of those social media until you're like 18 or 20 is probably should be banned.
I so agree with that statement.
It's hard even.
But how do you do it right?
There's so much going on.
Yeah, it's very true. We look at it too, and it's like, oh my god! I just recently took my eyelash extensions off, and I'm going through such a thing about it. And I know that it's my thing and whatever, you know what I mean? But on such a grander level, everybody is always comparing themselves.
Definitely.
Right? And so I think it's so important, especially with the young girls, because what we experience is going to be magnified by 10,000% by the time they're our age.
Definitely.
Can you even imagine?
Wild. That's a different perspective. It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a whole.
So I think just people need to be more uplifting about these things out there,
and offer some natural suggestions until you're.
This is my skin. This is my real skin. It's flawed. It's not perfect.
It's perfect. Your skin's perfect. I'm over here her skin is perfect.
It better be. I've got all these things to use. So no, I'm just kidding.
And also your body, your face, everything is constantly changing. Up until you're 25 or 26. So when you start to, unless you're just enhancing it, you could be stunting it in so many ways. Yeah, I just came up with that thought right now.
Yeah, no, I feel like we're getting to something here for sure. And we see these teens with acne or even adult acne, and it's so, like you said, debilitating. It's so hard for them, and we just want to tell them not to hyper focus so much on it, which I know it's hard, but the more you're focusing on these flaws, the worse it almost gets. So we're always talking about positive affirmations and uplifting things and you're beautiful, and we're here really just to enhance natural beauty.
Yeah, I love that.
Be there for these people, because I feel the pain of these clients with acne and these small flaws that these women or men seeing are just so minute and
but
really
everything when it's you and you're looking at yourself, it's so magnified. It's so magnified, and it's so helpful to have somebody be able to walk you through that. But that the understanding that you have some control over your appearance starts when you're really young. Right. So if you have chronic acne as a teenager, you're just I'm always going to be this way. I'm not pretty. I'm not handsome.
It feels so permanent.
Yeah.
Things in your teens feel so permanent, right?
Yeah.
This is forever. This is me. This is my identity.
I'm never going to date anybody. Nobody's going to hire me.
Not. It's totally something we can work on, and it does get better. I just had a teen in here earlier, and her skin's you could just see the happiness on her face. She came to just buy more products.
Sure.
They have to keep on the products, otherwise the program just won't work. So she was just you could just see her so happy, and it was just it's such a rewarding feeling. And they just then they're starting to trust you, and they trust the process, and the more you trust and commit and feel the change is coming, the change will come, but it's being patient and not buying 10 different things from a different store. It's like you said, trusting the process and trusting a professional. I think a lot of times people going on TikTok again and buying all this stuff, and that would be good for me. She looks like me or whatever, and it's not the best thing.
Yeah, and that's such a good point. If you could just even simply have a consultation with a professional like yourself, then it's well, your skin is like this, and you may look, you know what I mean? This is, so if you were a young teen with acne and maybe not able to come in here, what would be one thing you would say you must be doing this regularly?
I think, honestly, the foundation would be to cleanse.
Okay.
Twice a day. Just as long as you're cleansing your skin twice a day, washing off all the makeup, not using makeup wipes, an actual good cleanser, Sure. That's the foundation. If you can get that step and working on that hygienic process, then you're going to be able to move forward with other things. But if you're not even washing your face, how can you add acne treatments?
And then you're going to put more makeup on top of that, and just kind of
I think this is simple. Honestly, treating acne is a lot more simple than I think people think it is. It's not this 12-step process. it's really just a few really strong products that we use to get after it.
Right.
And every acne is different. So it's like a few products to use every day, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it is doable for most people. And otherwise it could take a lot longer.
Yeah. Well,
and
they
it could
could
be a lot more money.
Well, they could spend $20 at Target for something that they don't know is going to work for them, or they can come spend $20 here on a product that is for their skin type.
Those products do range what I would say is about $24 to $45.
Okay.
So like a cleanser would be $25, $26.
Super reasonable.
It is. And it's like a good size product.
Yeah, yeah. So you and your husband are both business owners. Yeah.
We're crazy people.
So I was thinking about this actually. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot, you know, because like in my business, if you don't work, you do not get paid.
Right.
There is nobody like period point blank. Right. And it's the same for both of you guys. Would you say that you were two entrepreneurs and you met, or you both said, hey, we could actually do this together as a team and have our own businesses?
Yeah, I definitely knew we were both like driven and had the dream, you know, in our back pocket. Like it didn't start that way. You know, we had our kids really young. I was only 23 when I had my first child. So I kind of raised my kids in my 20s. Like, they're still raising them, but you know, I'm 35 now.
Sure.
So, you know, it was something that I think evolved over time, I would say, but we both like had it in us and like were inspired and loved, both I'd say very passionate about what we do. Right. So that led us to finally so I opened my business and then Jason opened Fusion shortly after, you know, so we were all, but we were both kind of on that path.
Sure.
For sure.
And there's probably a level of understanding, like, you know, you work a lot of hours. He's got to pick up the boys, vice versa.
We really work as a team.
And I think that has to be a big deal. It's like a really important piece.
Definitely. And you know, it just, we just like everything we do, we balance it out.
Yeah.
But it is a lot.
Sure.
It's a lot.
Sure.
So for two of us both having it, you know. Luckily, I do have someone that works with me, Anita.
Oh,
she's
nice.
Amazing.
Oh, good.
So when she's working weekends, I'm with my family. So that's been really, really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. You got to make it work because you're passionate about what you do, but you also have your family, and it's so important. Like you said earlier, you don't want to miss the things.
I don't. And I don't. I really don't miss the important things, you know. So it's great, and it's great to have those weekends. I work Saturdays and Sundays for years. Right. So it's like, yay, I get to have a little breather on the weekends. So
that's perfect. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
So what do you think is like the best piece of advice somebody gave you?
Okay. So I have, you know what? I had a mentor when I moved out here. That was one of the doctors that I worked for, and he was probably only like 70. I think he was like in his early 70s, but he told me, like, because he was teaching me how to do a couple things, and he was like, you know, if your lighting isn't right, move it. Like, get it right before you like speed things up, right? So he always said accuracy before speed, and that just stuck with me because, like, even though like you want to do something faster, it might not produce you like the best results. Right. And if I just like get my lighting right, look at the client, look at what I'm doing, or maybe take a step back, reevaluate, you know, just kind of, and I feel like it's just stuck with me in life too.
I was going to say,
always want to move so fast.
You could put that in any space and it works.
So I'm always like, okay, let's slow down. Because he was always like, one thing at a time, like slow it down. Like really think about what you're looking at here, you know, instead of like, I need to get to my next client. So let's go, you know, and like, it's just good to service as well. For people, so.
I hear it very similar, piece of advice. It's go slow to go fast.
Yes.
Right. So same idea. Like you hit
the next person can wait. Like, no, you're
right.
No one's like holding a gun to you. You can like slow down. Yes. Because I'm like that. Like I struggle with just like, you know, wanting to just
checking things off the list and finishing it up. Yeah. Awesome.
Sometimes, so that helped me a lot. Stuck with
Perfect. Well, so if anybody wants to make an appointment with you or bring their teen in, like what was the best way to reach out to you to do that?
Yeah, so we have a website, CourtneyLawrenceSkincare.com. We also have a booking site that you can get directly on there. Or on Instagram, there's a link in my bio that you can just click on, and it's, you know, book with us.
Okay.
So yeah, but there's a couple different links that I can share with you too.
And where would they find you?
Yeah, right here in Palm Desert. It's 73386 Highway 111. Unit 6, Palm Desert, California.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say today?
No, thank you so much for having me. It was fun to talk about
I'm so excited. Yeah, I love to learn about the different things available.
Yeah, and there's so much more.
Yeah.
I mean, we do lots for aging too. We have like a whole aging process that we use too. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Let me give you a hug too.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So interesting.